everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Billikis. How you doing? It's good to be back with another lesson, and in today's class we'll be learning how to make a body sloper for children, which is very easy to make. And in case you've missed the tutorial on how to take accurate body measurement for kids, you can check out the previous video, which I'll put the link in the description box below. If today is your first time, you're welcome. Please make sure you subscribe, share with the family and friends, and follow me on Instagram, Billikis Signatures, and on Facebook, Sewing Innovation. So all you need is your pattern paper and the required measurement. So let's quickly go over the required measurements. First, you need the chest circumference, like bust circumference for adults, which is 25 inches, waist circumference, which is 22, the back width measurement, which is 9 inches, chest width measurement 8.5, shoulder measurement 9.5, arm side depth, I would derive that from my pattern. The back waist measurement 10 inches and the front waist 8.5 inches. So right now let's get started. So now here is what we are going to do. We need half of the chest measurement to start with, which is 25 inches here. When you divide that into 2, that's going to give me 12.5. So it is advisable you just add ease to your pattern, just to, some ease, some freeness around the body. So instead of the 12.5 inches, I'm just going to add extra half an inch to that to make it 13. So all you have to do is to insert half of the chest measurement here. So I have 13. It was actually 12.5, then half an inch is for both. So here I have 13 inches upward. The next thing will be the center back now, to derive the center back, which you will use the back waist measurement to derive. Here it is 10 inches. So all you have to do is to measure 10 inches as I have here. Can you see that? 10 inches. And this 10 inches is also going to be measured here, because you will need the center back and the center front. So all you have to do is to divide the 13 inches into 2 to have 6.5. And this 6.5 also will be measured 10 inches. So you just close it up. For the front, we are still going to come up. That was why I just left it open. So with that, we are good to go. So the next thing we need to derive is the arm side depth. That is half of the armhole. And how do you derive that? All you need to do is to divide your center back into 2 and then add quarter inch into that. So 10 divided by 2 will give me 5. Then plus quarter of an inch, just to give you some ease. So I have 5.25. So I'll come here, 5.25. Coming here to 5.25. So my 10 inches is here to get it accurately. The arm side depth has been formed. So that's good. So the next thing we are going to do now is to insert the back weight measurement. So here, the back width is 9 inches. So you just have to divide that into 2, which is going to give me 4.5. So to be accurate, 4.5 here. So that is the back width. So the next thing we are going to do is to determine the neck width. How do you derive that? All you have to do is to get the 1/10 of half of the chest measurement we used here. Remember, it was 12.5. You don't need to add the ease. So half of the bust or chest circumference is 12.5. So you just need to get 1/10 of that. What do I mean? That's 1/10 of 12.5. So which simply means 12.5 over 10. So all you have to do is just put the decimal point here. So that means you have 1.25, which is the same thing as 1.25. It's very easy. That is, you divide your half of the bust or chest measurement by 10. That's what I meant by 1/10 of that. Just divide it by 10. So here I'm going to have 1.25, which is 1 1/4. And to that, I just add extra 1 into it, which simply means I will have 2 1/4. 2 1/4, that's good. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go up by 3/4 inch. 3/4 inch. So can you see what I have? Then I'm just going to form the neckline. So come in by 3/4 inch and form a perfect. So beautiful. Having done that now, the next thing is to insert the shoulder measurement. So before we go to that point, so where we are going to connect, or first let us finish with this. So for the shoulder measurements now, here I have shoulder measurement is 9 1/2. When you divide that by 2, we are going to have 4 3/4. 4 3/4. Remember, we have taken 2 1/4 here, so that means we'll be left with 2 1/2. 2 1/2. Okay, so you just measure 2 1/2 from here, and then you make it intersect on this line, center back line, 2 1/2. So that's what I have. Or you can simply take it 2 1/4. You've taken 2 1/4, just place the 2 1/4 here, and then intersect the 4 3/4, which is also at the same point. So the next thing is to connect. Beautiful. So it's time to connect the armhole. So at that point, you will need, at that point where the back width measurement is, when you are measuring, and how do you determine that so that we make our connection? That means the center back divided by 4. So when you divide 10 by 4, you have 2 1/2. That's the point. Take your armhole curve. So you connect from here to the back width line. And the next thing is to connect the armhole. So beautiful. Can you see the armhole is formed? The next thing is to insert the waist measurement. From here, the waist circumference is 22 inches. So when you divide that by 4, you have 5 1/2, because half is 11, and half of 11 will be 5 1/2. I will advise you to add 1/4 of an inch each to that. So that will be 5 3/4. We already used the chest circumference to determine the box, so you just connect it straight down. So the back is formed. So this is the center back. Now let's move to the center front. It is easy. All you need to do is this. From this 3/4 inch you went up by, that is the neck region, just go up by 1/4 of an inch. 1/4. So 1/4 is here. Can you see that? So you are going to connect it straight here. All you have to do, measure here. So here I have 11 inches. To make it easier, come to this point, measure 11 inches. Front ready now. So this is going to be the center front. Good. The next thing we are going to do is to also determine the back, the chest width. We use the back width measurement to get this line. So we are going to do the same thing there. The chest width is 8 1/2. So when you divide this by 2, you have 4 1/4. 4 1/4 is here. 4¼ here. Good. The next thing is to work on the neckline. All I have to do now is to take the same neckline you have here, which is 2¼ come down here 2¼ then just add extra 1 bar, which is 1/16 of an inch here. That's good. Then you come here and just measure exactly 2¼ adding nothing. So first, to make a straight line, just leave it till the neckline is formed. The next thing is to work on the shoulder slope. So what do we do in this case? All you have to do now is this. Here for the back, we just took it from this point straight to the center back. So now for the front panel, we are going to make it lower by 1/4 inch. So meaning you are going to go in 1/4 inch more. Like from here, let us just measure to make it easier. From this center front line, it is 1 inch. So from this line, we want to go down by 1/4 inch. So that makes it 1¼ So to make it easier, come here and measure 1¼ and then make a straight line. So all you have to do now is this. Measure whatever you have here. Here I have 2 3/4. Then you bring it down here. From the neck region here to wherever it intersects this line. 2 3/4. Let me see. That's what I have. So the next thing is to determine the chest width here, just as we did here for the connection. So all I have to do now is this. Measure from the lower part here, let's say 10 here, that's 2½. So just bring it here to make it easier. 10, then 2½. So take your armhole curve. You see, and then rotate your so beautiful. Can you see? We are good to go. The next thing is the waist measurement. So the same measurement we have here, which is 5 3/4, will be measured here too. 5 3/4 connects to the first one. Our basic sloper is formed, and you can see that was pretty easy. So the next thing we need to confirm is the front waist measurement. Here I have 8½. So let us see. From here I have 8½. Good. So that means I don't need to come down below. So but in a case whereby you have your front waist measurement to be 1 and let's say this is 8½, happens to be, let's say, 8 3/4. 8 3/4. So what do? You just measure here And what, okay, so 8 3/4 is here. So what do? You extend. So in some cases, you might not need to make this extension. Like the one I'm making is 8 1/2, which is actually the same measurement with the back waistline, because a child's chest is flat. But due to posture at times, you have a situation whereby the front will be a little bit more. So in that case, that is what I'm explaining now. 8 3/4 is here. Then all you have to do is to make a straight line from that point very close to the waistline here. So that's what you are going to have, just little. So in few occasions you have 1/4 inch. It's not usually more than that because the kid's chest is flat, unlike that or an adult. Cut it out. What it looks like. This is for the front panel and this is for the back panel. So easy to make. For better understanding of what I did, I just want you to see what we drafted. So I placed the paper on the little mannequin. Can you see? So this is the center front. Can you see the neckline? Can you see at the shoulder? Can you see at the back? Can you see, and even the chest line, everything matches perfectly. Can you see that? So it's just so beautiful. That is how to make a basic sloper for kids. If my tutorial on how to make this has been helpful, please give me a giant thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe.